If you can't trust me, it's okay, honey. I wouldn't trust me either. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I am here to review Season 2, Episode 8 of The Real Untrustworthy Housewives of Dubai. We start the episode off at Caroline Strawberry's house, and Sergio's still a guest there. They're waking up, they're in bed, their mattress is still on the floor. The maid walked in with a tray of breakfast and she basically had to bend over at a 90-degree angle just to reach down and give it to them. She walked in like, "Hello, Miss Strawberry. Hello, Mr. Sergio. Here's your breakfast." Just face down, ass up in the air for no reason. And I'm looking at this like, wait a minute. You know, I've done this move a couple of times at the club. So Strawberry, I hope you're paying for her back problems. So then they start discussing everything that happened on the episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey last week between Talene, her husband Raphael 2.0, and Brooks. And they're basically blaming that whole situation that escalated to what it was on Brooks. And I could see to a certain extent, but it all goes out the window once Raphael got involved, because there's no reason why they should be excusing his behavior on, "Oh, I would F you up." You know, he was threatening both Lisa and Caroline Brooks, two women in their house, and yet that just, it goes over their head. They're like, "Oh no, Brooks, you know, she constantly poke at Talene," so we could understand why he reacted like that. Like, no, because if he would have put his hands on either one of them or any woman in general in the house, then what? Will we still be having this conversation? She tells him about the cash trip to Bali, and already he starts getting emotional, right? And you know who else Sergio reminds me of? He reminds me of Puss and Boots, the little kitty from Shrek. You know, because the second that he found out that Caroline was leaving his side for more than 2 seconds, he was just like, I'm like, Sergio, enough. You know, but then again, you know, part of me looks at him like, my God, like, get a backbone. Like, you know, what are you doing? Like, you're a grown man. But then the other part of me is just like, that is a man. So I don't know. I'm torn about the whole situation. Strawberry, she also lets us know that he wants a double-sided toilet, which is 2 toilets next to each other, I'm assuming. You know, I can already picture, well, I don't want to picture it, but I can already picture it. You know, he's sitting right next to her and, you know, she's taking a number. And then next thing you know, he's just like, honey, can I wipe? Can I wipe for you? Like, just nasty, but that's love. We see everyone packing up for their trip to Bali, and then we head over to Lisa Milan's house. She's there with the handsome vampire Richard, and she has a worksheet for him on what to do with the kids while she's away. She's like, okay, so you're gonna do this, this, and this on this specific day. These are the rules. Here goes Richard. Okay, but what about instead of the rules, it says Daddy's rules? I mean, sure, I mean, whatever you want, Daddy. Okay, Richard. So then Lisa, she starts explaining to him everything that happened on The Real Housewives of New Jersey last week. And she's like, yeah, it was crazy between Brooks, Talene, and Raphael. It was a huge brawl. It was crazy. The whole house was just tore up. And he's just like, really? And then Lisa in the confessional, she said something very interesting, because she was just like, you know, in an Islamic culture, in an Islamic country, it's very crazy to see a man go up against a woman like this or speak to her like that, because men, they don't address women at all. I wonder why. And then she continues, men treat women like queens in this culture. And like I said before, when they touch on certain subjects on the show, they could continue trying to portray something to be something so nice and pretty, but honestly, Lisa, I don't believe that. We head over to Talene's house and she's there with her husband, Raphael 2.0. He's telling her that he's embarrassed about his behavior at the dinner party, that this is not like him, that he's just not like this on a daily basis. Really, Raphael? I mean, you could have fooled me because your behavior came out very naturally, you know. I'm gonna F them up. Okay, fine. You know, this is his first time he behaved like this. According to him, right? At least on camera. So then Talene is telling him, you know what really hurt me to the core, what really hurt my spirit, is when she exposed me. I mean, when she said that, you know, that I was begging her to be on this show. And, you know, and then in the confessional, she goes on to say, you know, it took me and Rafi about, you know, maybe a couple of minutes. I mean, a couple of seconds. I mean, a year for us to even decide to do this show. You know, the second that Caroline Brooks or the producers or Andy Cohen was just like, oh, Talene, we're interested. Yes. They didn't even have to ask anything. They were just like, do you want to be on? Yes. So So please save it. Like, you know, you were desperate. You were probably desperate to be on the show. So stop. And then she starts telling him, you know, I'm scared. I'm petrified to go to this trip to Bali because then I'm going to see Brooks. Oh, please stop. Now you want to play the whole, I'm scared to be around her. Like, please stop. Because just a week ago, you were not scared to get in Caroline Brooks's face and say, where's your fucking husband? So please save it. We finally get to the cast trip, so everybody starts showing up to the airport one by one, starting off with Lisa Milan, judgmental, holier-than-thou Sarah, Chanel Ayan. She shows up dressed like the bride of Chucky with his white puffy dress, black leather jacket. In the confessional, she explains, well, why would I want to wear a boring outfit on the plane with some sneakers? What if the plane goes down, which is crazy to say, but what if the plane goes down and I die? I don't want to meet God wearing that. I want to meet God wearing couture. That's probably one of my favorite lines that she's ever said on the show. I want to meet God wearing couture. Like, I need that on a shirt. Next thing you know, we see the friend of the show. So what's her name? She shows up. And I'm like, wow, they just invite anybody on these cast trips nowadays on the Housewives, huh? Like, so what's her name? She's really coming? Like, she's coming for what? And she shows up ready to give you the red light special all through the night with these red silky pajamas that she got on sale at Victoria's Secret. You know she got out the Uber like, oh, I can't wait till the cameras are on me. They're gonna love these pajamas. Like, absolutely not. Like, go home. Then we see Caroline Strawberry show up, and of course she has to have her accessories, Sergio, attached to her. I'm looking at her luggage like, that's too much for one person. Next thing you know, he yells out, oh, I'm also coming along. And that really, really triggered me because for me, okay, story time. So all of my birthdays, I take them very, very, very serious. Like, it's my special day, right? It should be about me. It's going to be about me, and it will be about me. So if you try to mess any of that up or try to make it about anything else besides me, that friendship is done. And trust me, it's been done in the past, right? Typically, I would throw a dinner or a get-together between all of my friends. And sometimes these friends who I'm no longer friends with, they would have the audacity to ask me, oh, do you think that my boyfriend, who I never met before, could come to your birthday dinner with me? And my answer was always the same. No. This is not a meet and greet. I'm not trying to get to know this person who's not even gonna be in the picture a month from now, let alone a week. Trust me, I've seen it happen. So no, this is not gonna be a, oh, so what happened between you or how did you two meet? No. It's all about me. On my birthday. So, you know, and I've had friendships in the past that, you know, they could never go anywhere without their boyfriend, or do you think that so-and-so could come? Or, you know, wait, I need to text so-and-so right now to let them know what I'm doing every 5 seconds. And that's just very toxic to me. You know, you don't see me bringing my boyfriend ever. Well, then again, I don't have a boyfriend. So maybe that's why. There's nobody to bring, but, ooh, not me being bitter, but... You know, but it's just so annoying. Like, Sergio and Caroline, they're kind of cute, but like, no. And thank goodness it was a joke because he was just like, oh no, I'm just kidding. Unless you really want me to. You know he had his business class ticket in his back pocket just in case if they actually said yes, right? He was just like, oh, no, I'm just going to Spain. I still got my luggage. Unless you want me to come. He had 2 tickets to 2 different places, right? He gives them a big cardboard cutout of him shirtless. And, you know, if I was Caroline or just anybody on the cast, I would have been like, you're so annoying. Like, but I'm gonna still need this poster. You know, it could get lonely in Bali, right? So he went off to Spain or whatever, and everybody else is on the class in first class, and it was just so nice. Again, Dubai is just so luxurious with their money because they're all in these spacious, you know, seats and stuff on the plane. Meanwhile, in America, when we see the cast footage of the American Housewives when they travel places, you know, they're all just scooting next to each other, you know, in economy. I take economy too, so it's okay. But, you know, they're in economy and they're sitting next to each other, you know, with one little cup of soda, you know, pretzels and cookies and you know, unlike Dubai, this is lavish. But honestly, even though Sergio went off to Spain, I wouldn't put it past him if he was on a plane like this. Don't worry, honey. I'm on my way to Bali to see you. Nothing is gonna separate us. Pilot, step on it. They finally make it to Bali and they're staying in this beautiful house, but they're all wondering, where exactly is Caroline San Diego? Because she's the only one out on the trip yet. But that doesn't stop anything because Lisa tells everyone, okay, you have an hour to get dressed and get ready because we're about to have a dinner with a celebrity chef. And Lisa, the green dress, you look so, so beautiful. Talene, she also looks nice in her dress. For a second, I actually thought she was wearing the dress that Jennifer Lopez wears every other weekend. You know, the infamous green dress. I'm like, look at Talene from the block. So they go outside, they're sitting at the table. Chanel looks nice, Strawberry looks nice. So what's her name is also there. Next thing you know, holier than thou Sarah, she gets up and she's like, okay, so I want to make a toast. And I'm like, oh boy, she's about to talk about trauma. Everybody duck. Is it over? So Sarah, she's like, I just feel like this place that we're in right now, visiting right now, that we have the opportunity to visit, Bali, this beautiful place. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is the place of growth and opportunity to heal within ourselves. And I feel like right now, this group, that's what we need right now moving forward, to move as a collectively, So what does everybody else say? And, if I was sitting at the table, I would have told the waiter, like, can I just get a shot? Can I just get a drink? Just give me the whole bottle. Because with Sarah, you need to be a little bit tipsy, right? So eventually, I believe Ayan questions Talene. So Talene, what was going on at the dinner party at Caroline Strawberry's house? Because I had left. What happened? Because I heard that you were chasing Caroline Brooks all around the house. And I'm like, who did you hear that? You probably heard that from Brooks, huh? Because she has a history of just making up scenarios in her head, right? And Talene, right away, she got defensive. And she's like, please don't take it right there right now with me. Please do not bring that up. Right now, I'm not in the mood for drama. And I'm like, first of all, Talene from the block, put the finger down. It's not that serious. She's very defensive. She's like, I don't want to talk about that right now. It's supposed to be about healing and having fun, not about drama. Ayana's just like, okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get the story straight. But luckily that didn't go anywhere. That didn't escalate. That was that. They start discussing Sarah's situationship with her guy. And she's like, I want to take everything between me and him slow. And I mean, Sarah, you could have fooled me because he already met your family. You're already in discussion of him meeting your family all before anything between both of you is official. So how is this slow? But then again, I'm single, right? What do I know? So she's telling Talene how in her culture, she can't move in with him yet until they get married. So as she's explaining, all of a sudden, so what's her name? She jumps in it very defensively and she tells Talene, well, no, me and her, we can't do that. We can't do that in our culture. We're not allowed to. No, it's not the same for us. No, it's not the same. No, we can't do that. We're not allowed. And I'm like, okay, like she's doing a perfect job explaining herself. You don't need to jump in, so what's her name? And if I was Talene, I would have been like, skirt. Yeah, continue, Sarah. Like so desperate, thirsty, and annoying. But eventually, Ayana's just like, okay, it's past my bedtime. Let's go party inside for a little bit and then go to sleep. So they go back inside. They're all dancing. They're having a good time. Ayan, she's like, when I'm on vacation, I don't want to think about, me being a wife or a mother. And I'm like, now, what is that supposed to mean? Okay, I won't tell either. It'll be our secret. Next thing you know, the main doors open up and who comes in? Caroline Brooks. She walks in and everybody's like, oh, Brooks, there you are. We were wondering where you were. And Talene and Brooks, you two are so fake because just a second ago, you two were about to go blow to blow for the WWE Women's Championship. And now here, oh, Talene, oh, Brooks, I was so worried about you. I'm so glad you look so pretty. Oh, you look so nice too. Like, no, I would have pulled a Nene and Dwight so quickly the second that I saw one of them approaching me, like, oh, come over here. Oh, I don't get a hug? Not really. Okay, boo. Oh, boo is so last year. You owe Greg $10,000? And secretly, the producers told Brooks, okay, you're gonna wait in the producer van for a couple of hours. We want you to make a dramatic entrance. Give me 1 second. Hold on, they're about to go to sleep. Okay, go. Go now, go. And boom, here she is. But according to Brooks, she says that she flew into Bali private. Okay, Brooks, okay. So then Strawberry in the confessional, she was just like, oh, please, the farthest that she's going to get to private is being strapped to a wing of a plane with her bags in the economy. Strawberry, you talk a lot of shit in the confessional, but just remember, when the reunion comes, you're gonna have to come face to face with Brooks and be able to back that up. Next day, they get on a boat, they're relaxing, they're swimming, they're taking pictures. Ayan is trying to get Brooks to talk to Talene, but Brooks is just like, look, I'm waiting for the finale episode when we finally film that to talk to her one-on-one, so that way I can still have a storyline. Until then, I don't even know who she is anymore. And it is crazy how delusional Brooks is, because if you remember, Brooks, this whole issue that you started with her started because of you from episode 1, when you were trying to instigate something between Strawberry and Talene and disguise it as, oh, I'm just looking out for you as being a good friend, when we really know what you were trying to do. You were trying to be messy. And when she didn't take the bait and called you out on your messy behavior, you didn't like that. And now we're here. But Talene, you also have been looking questionable these last couple of episodes, the way you're getting all buddy-buddy next to Strawberry to downplay Brooks, a friend of 10 years you two claim to be. So both of you are in the wrong. Eventually, they go over to relax with the rest of the group. Talene, she gets up and she's like, you know what? Me and Brooks, we're going to talk when I'm in a better headspace. I'm going to go over there. That's that. Eventually, we're left with both Carolines. They're both laying down. They're basically intertwined with each other. And Brooks is so hilarious because she talks so much shit about Strawberry from episode 1. And now all of a sudden, they're laying there next to each other side by side. And she's like, you know, I miss you. Just a mess. I thought just a second ago she was like the most terrible person on earth. You also find out through a flashback that Ayan, Strawberry, and Talene went out for lunch. Ayan, she was excited to share that, you know, I have a voice message in my phone of Sarah talking bad about Brooks behind her back. She plays the recording and then we hear Sarah saying, oh yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Brooks. You know, she's just there. I just put up with her. And in this context of the recording, without knowing anything else, yeah, it could sound that she's talking bad about Brooks. Oh, so we think so far, right? But it's just crazy, Ayan, from what we find out later on in the episode and from the sneak peek to the next episode, that you're the reason that the relationship between you and Lisa falls apart. Like, you started it right here with this moment. They get back to the house, they get dressed, they reunite at the dinner table. Brooks, she starts it off by asking, does anybody think that I shouldn't be on a healing journey anymore? Because that's what Strawberry thinks. And I mean, I agree with Strawberry, because whatever healing journey, Brooks, you're on, it's clearly not working, because I've never heard of a healing journey where you're like, you know what, fuck you, bitch. I don't even know you anymore. It's all about peace and tranquility. Fuck you, I can't stand you. I don't even know you anymore. You're so fake. It's all about love and happiness. Like, you can't just be flip-flopping between both emotions like that. Lisa and Sarah started questioning Strawberry, like, why wouldn't you want her on a healing journey to be a better person? Strawberry was just like, look, me and Brooks used to understand each other. She used to be much more direct with me. Now she's just all over the place. And Sarah, you do most of her talking now. Like, you're her mouthpiece. And then we see in the flashback that every time there was a conversation with Brooks, with anybody else, what was Sarah doing? No. You have to get through me to talk to her. Like, you're basically her representative, in Candace's words. Sarah tries to explain to her, like, no, that doesn't mean anything. I'm just trying to be a good friend to Brooks. But little does she know that she's doing the same thing again. She's being her mouthpiece, because Brooks is right there next to Strawberry. And instead of her speaking to Strawberry, what is she doing? Sarah is doing the talking for her. Like, this is Sarah. Okay, so Caroline Brooks, what do you want me to say to her? Okay, you want me to say this, and I'm just defending you. I'm not your mouthpiece. What else? Okay, got it. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, so Caroline Strawberry, this is what Caroline said. Like, you're literally her secretary. And Strawberry was just like, well, darling, you're doing exactly what I'm accusing you of doing. But you know what? Well, first of all, before we get to that, then we see, what's her name? So what's her name? The front of the show. She jumps in it, and I'm like, first of all, who are you? She jumps in it to argue with the Queen of England, and she's like, no. Just because she's doing that doesn't mean that she's a bad friend. She's being a good friend to Brooks. Am I gonna get my gold coins in the intro? I already have a tagline ready. I'm like, ew, the desperation. Like, we didn't need to see the scene. Like, they could have cut that out. But eventually, what's her name? Caroline Strawberry, she was just like, well, you know what, darling? Since you want to say about my behavior, why don't we talk about yours and what you said about Brooks behind her back in the voice message? And I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. So now we have no choice but to out it, right? So Ayan is just like, you know what? Okay, since you want to take it there, I have it right here. Let me just play it. She plays the message for everybody to hear.
Meredith can go f herself. I'm done with her. Because I'm not a whore and I don't cheat on my husband. Her and a dumb family that poses. Why don't you own...
Okay, wait, wrong message. but is out there, and Brooks is listening to Sarah, who's sitting right next to her, talk bad about her, allegedly, right? And Brooks is just looking at her like, wow, really? Like, do I have to cut off everybody on this cast? And, Sarah and her hat, she's just sitting there like, okay, whose trauma can I talk about to deflect from this? Does anybody need healing? No, Ayan, that's not me. So who is it? Is it AI? Is it somebody else's voice message? And then Lisa exposed herself because she looks over Ayan and she's like, oh, Ayan, really? That's the voice message I sent you? Well, regardless, she would have been exposed anyway because I feel like, obviously Sarah, she knew that she sent that message to Lisa. So obviously it was all going to come out. So Lisa was just like, wow, you're messy, and I can't trust you anymore. And it was so sad to hear that because, again, they're both besties. And Ayan, you ruined it for what? Just to like get some type of approval to try to, impress Strawberry or whatever, because I feel like that's where this is coming from. She wants to be like besties with, everybody wants to be best friends with Strawberry for some reason, so desperately, and they'll do anything to get it. And this was Ayan's way of getting it. Like, ooh, I got this juicy message, that she has on Strawberry's enemy. Let me try to give it to her, and here we are. She basically used you, and then this whole thing just blows out of proportion next week because it's not really what it seems to be playing out in this episode. Well, again, we'll talk about it next week. And Lisa's like, I can't trust you. And Ayana's just like, look, I know it's effed up. You know it's effed up, but you still did it. The second that you took out this voice message on camera at the luncheon, that's when this whole friendship just went down the toilet, and it continues going down the toilet next week because eventually they both start making each other cry. Ayan curses out Lisa next episode, but again, we'll discuss that next week. But it's so sad to see. And then the Queen of England, she's just sitting there like, yes, all of my puppets, they're all going against each other, and she's just there with her clingy husband, just a mess. But we shall see how this whole thing plays out. It's very unfortunate to see Ayan and Lisa's friendship. We're finally at that point where it's about to go down, crumbling, but we'll get through it all together, but let me know what you all thought about this whole entire episode down in the comments. Bye, everybody. Mwah.